Hello, it's good to have you here. The 13-inch MacBook Air has been a great machine for the past year. I used it for every project, every school project, every anime episode that I watched, every video that I made for this channel. Literally everything that I did was on the 13-inch MacBook Air, and it has been going great. Now, just to get the specs out of the way, I have 1 terabyte of SSD storage and 16 gigabyte of RAM. So those are the two things. And I used to have a 16-inch fully spec'd out MacBook Pro. To tell you more about that, let's dive a bit to the past. The 16-inch came out. I bought it and I spec'd it out to the full maximum, which at the time was 64 gigabyte of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, the highest graphic card possible. I think it was 5800 Radeon something, and the highest CPU that you can get, which was the 2.4 gigahertz Intel 9 core. And that machine was a beast of a machine. Granted, every time I use it, the fan would just fly and I feel like I am going to take off, but regardless, it was definitely a very nice machine to use. Then M1 MacBooks was announced. I got the base models at the time. I got 2 Mac Minis and 1 MacBook Air and started testing with them and just testing the waters. And the results that I got at the time, which I have done videos about, you can definitely search for them and you will find them in the channel. They were astonishing and they were amazing at the time. So I was like, you know what? Let's do anybody crazy would do, and we will go full blown out. Just go ahead and get the 13-inch MacBook Air. The reason I chose the MacBook Air because of the color. I am all about pink and I am all about stuff that are orange. So for example, my 12 mini right here, I have an orange slapped on it, and even the 13 mini, which I am still in the process of transitioning to, right here I got the pink one as well. And even the iPad mini as well, which I have right here in the front of me, I got the pink one as well. So if it was orange or pink, I am all about it. So that was the only reason. It was an aesthetic reason to go with the 13-inch MacBook Air instead of going with the MacBook Pro. Keeping in mind, I hate the touch bar. I really cannot stand that thing. But aside from that, I do love the MacBook Pro, no issues. Anyhow, got the MacBook Air, got the 1 terabyte storage, which I regret, and I will explain why, and got the 16 gigabyte of RAM, which I don't regret, and I highly recommend, and I will explain why as well. So starting with the storage, and why do I regret it? The storage, I wish I went with 2 terabyte instead of 1 terabyte. Because of my case usage, 1 terabyte is definitely not enough for me. 2 terabyte would have been nice and I wouldn't have to fiddle around. I really don't like to have external hard drives hanging around. I do have a dongle and it's from the best company that makes dongles ever. Link in the description if you want to check them out. It's not an affiliate. I just like them and they are awesome. And the company called Uni, I definitely recommend checking them out. So with me having a hub, I just don't like to get external hard drives. And even if I want an external hard drive that is as fast as the internal SSD, it would cost me a lot of money. For example, the LC Pro Extreme would cost me around $400 to get, and still $400, I would rather spend that on the Mac and get the 2 terabyte or the extra terabyte for the extra $400. Now you might say, well, why you didn't do it? Well, I went to the store and I wanted the 2 terabyte version. It was not there at the Apple store at the time. There was only the 1 terabyte version with the 16 gigabyte of RAM. So I was like, you know what, let's get it. Because at the time when I wanted to order, it would have been like 2 months to get it. And I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna get it and be done. So that's why I got the 16, not the 16, I'm still used to the 16 right now. That's why I got the 13 with 16 gigabyte of RAM and the 1 terabyte SSD, which works fine. For the 16 gigabyte of RAM, why I didn't regret getting that, it's the best decision ever. I can open as many tabs as I can, because with me tabs, it's a one-way street. I am always going for it and opening tabs instead of going backwards and actually closing tabs. It's always opening more of them and never closing some of them. So that's my case scenario. Therefore, having 16GB of RAM is definitely helpful to get all of that. Plus, I compile a lot of code as well when it comes to Xcode. That does help from time to time, and then when I am editing the occasional video for this channel, that would help as well. And speaking about that, hit the like button, subscribe if you like Apple products and such, and leave a comment. Stuff like that would definitely help me get that out there. That would be nice. With that being said, if you are a power user, I would definitely recommend going with the 16 instead of 8. It's not that huge of a money, and it will be a long-term investment with the long run, so that's why I do recommend it. Now, when it comes to my case usage, when I am compiling code, I have no issues at all. It's actually the best thing possible. Now I am developing solely for iOS, so I'm using Swift UI kit, which means it's only developing for Apple products. That's why the M1 works perfectly. But aside from that, I do make websites, and I have made my own website, and I am working on a new version of my website as well, and I am using Sublime Text for that, and it works with no issues at all, and it's just wonderful. So if you are a web developer, an iOS developer, an Android developer using Float or using React, using Swift, using Java, using Python, it would work with you. Now, the only case scenario that I will say it would not work with you if you are using C# or C++, for example, if you are using Unreal Engine or Unity. Unity is more on the safe side, but when it comes to Unreal Engine, it's definitely not on the safe side, and Unreal Engine have not worked with me at all. Twinmotion worked without issues, and I have made a video about that. You can definitely search for it and find it and watch it if you are a Twinmotion user. Now, for the casual usage, when it comes to watching Netflix, watching anime, browsing YouTube videos, watching Jonathan Morrison, my favorite YouTuber ever, I can watch those videos non-stop, and it would be good to go, and there is no problem at all with that. Therefore, the MacBook Air, the M1 MacBook Air, is the machine to get and is the machine to go with. Again, it's very nice to have you here. If you stick to the very end, you are one of the wonderful people that I love. Leave that in the comment, and I will see you guys very soon.